From once being an obscure and unknown man to the world, to possibly and arguably being one of the most viral and memed on Preds in UK history. This is the story and documentary of Giles Cockett, aka the Goblin Nonce. Hey guys, Joseph the World here, and yes, you've heard that right. For the 6-year anniversary of my channel, yes, that is today, we are taking a look as a whole on Giles Cockett, starting with anything that's known about him prior to the Sting itself, and just everything in between from then, from 2018 when the Sting took place, and to now, 2025. Not much is known about Giles Cockett's past, but the two things that we do know prior to the Sting is he apparently worked in a box shop. So I don't know if that means that he packaged things, if he made boxes or something. I really do not know.
You have been on your phone this morning.
Yeah, but I've been at work. I work for a box shop.
But we know that was his job prior to being caught, and the fact that he was an apparent moderator on a chat site that he made as a teenager. Now, I'm not sure if that claim is true or not, because as we'll see in the Sting soon, that he lies quite a bit.
Discussion forum for teenagers.
It's not a I'm not a member. I'm one of the moderators.
You're a moderator on there.
On what site?
It's called Virtual Teen. It's one that I set up. It's one that I set up when I was a teenager.
And I feel like it's important to talk about something that Giles claims that he has continuously throughout the Sting, which is Asperger's syndrome. I will show the definition on screen now, but I will be reading it out. But Asperger's syndrome is a developmental disorder that affects how people communicate, interact with others, and understand the world. It's now considered a type of autism spectrum disorder, ASD. Now, I'm not trying to use this as an excuse for him or anything like that. I just think it's important to talk about since he brings up quite a bit in the Sting. Which, on the 2nd of June 2018, a group known as Soul Survivors, a Pred hunting team, caught and introduced the world, mainly the UK, to a Pred known as Giles Cockett with a now viral clip or sting of this.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Who did you send it to?
Stan said she was 18. It was on the profile.
Don't get angry. No good getting angry.
And when I say this clip went viral here in the UK, I mean it went viral. Teenagers quoting the statement, memes being made, viral vines, YouTube videos, compilations, memes, you name it, it was happening with Mr. Giles Cockett. But not many people actually took a deeper look in the Sting and the disturbing content behind it. And that's what we're going to do now.
But you've been sending pictures to what you believe is a young child. Is that appropriate, or do you understand?
They said they all said they were 18.
They all said they were 18. Okay.
In the first message, Giles, it was put to you from us three decoys that we're 14 years old. You even...
As obviously said quite quickly, he was communicating with 3 of their decoys, which are basically accounts they've made pretending to be someone younger, and obviously these grown men like Giles talks to them and eventually lead to them getting caught if they're obviously doing what Giles had been obviously there to meet up with. He was also communicating with actual real children aside from 3 of them, and as obviously they'll I can't go too far into detail with. The conversation was quite explicit, and he sent pictures of himself, and I don't think that needs further explanation as to why that is really bad.
I mean, do you know what's right and what's wrong? I mean, what's the legal age of consent, Giles?
16.
16. So you know exactly what you're doing then because of their age. I mean, at the start of the chat logs, it was put to you, 14.
As obviously shown there, he clearly understands what the age of consent is, and he was told multiple times the people who communicate in their real ages, and he still continued on with his explicit conversations.
But that's what that's what those.
You ever had a dream that you could do so
Sites discuss their setup for teenagers.
But you're not a teenager. Why are you on there?
And you knew the girl was 14, so why are you talking to her? Why didn't you just delete her straight away?
Can you tell us your age, please?
32.
Which again is a pretty valid point. What is a 32 or 34-year-old? I've seen two different ages around this time, so I'm a bit confused. But what is a 32-year-old doing on? I'm not saying, by the way, that people can't be on chat rooms or whatever. I'll be honest, I don't see a point of them. But as long as you're not doing anything inappropriate, I don't really care or have an issue with it. But when it comes to one that's specifically designed for teenagers, a man like that should definitely not be anywhere near websites like that, for obvious reasons.
Asperger's world, there's no age difference. You go.
And I feel like this has to be stated. It is no excuse, especially after being told multiple times their ages. If it is a case and Asperger's syndrome for this guy in particular, because I'm sure other people that have Asperger's syndrome don't do this type of behaviour, but if it is a case for this one person, he definitely should be moderated by family or someone who's hired to look after him, because he's obviously a danger to people younger than him.
Look, I suffer from loneliness, all right.
Giles, please listen.
Aggravated.
I just talk to anybody. Talk to anybody who shows friendliness towards
Giles,
me.
listen. Okay, so you're lonely. You've got Asperger's or whatever. Do you know it's right or wrong to talk to an underage girl?
In that outburst right there, it is a common excuse these people use as a way to try and get out of it, that they were lonely. Because I don't know how many stings I've covered now where people blame it on loneliness and mental health.
I trust the profiles. It's really difficult. It's really difficult for people with Asperger's to understand ages and to understand that.
But when she tells you several times that she's 14, you still don't understand. Then you don't want to be caught and get into trouble. Why would you get into trouble talking to a girl online? You wouldn't, but you would if it was underage. That's real.
As we'll see in a minute, he clearly knew what he was doing was wrong when he was told and became aware that the person he was communicating with was actually a 14-year-old and other minors. And I'll show that now.
You've said, I don't want to get caught, I don't want to get into trouble.
I didn't say that.
That's strange, because it says here that you did.
I think you did, Giles. To be fair...
There you go, sorry, just for the camera. Doesn't matter if I'm in. Giles, read that. I don't want to get into trouble. You won't get into trouble, I promise. So you're a bit worried about getting into trouble.
No!
But you know why you was worried? Because she was 14.
Caught in 4K.
The point I'm trying to make, even though the app said she was 18, this is the crux of it. I know, who knows how long for, because I'm only 14. I'm only 14, not 18. I may get booted again. And you put, I will make sure you don't. Do you know what happened then? I said, but you know I'm 14 and they will also. Okay, so that disproves the whole 18, you thought she was 18. I know that. It's no problem to me. Okay then, she said. So now, even though the app said she was 18, you've been told twice, in no uncertain terms, that she's 14, and you've accepted that it's no problem to you. Now my question is that correct? You can deny it if you wish.
Caught in 8K.
Giles Cockett has been chatting to under what he.
I didn't know what.
Okay, all right. Don't worry. Let's find out what's going on. We'll get to the bottom of it, won't we? So what's happened then? You guys...
I've just been walking home from work, and this lot of dragged me off the street.
We didn't drag
The word. Have we touched Giles?
No, but
Basically, we've got 2 decoys. Well, we've got 3 decoys.
So who are you guys then?
We're a team. We are. We've got 3 of our decoys.
What, officially, or kind of in your own
in our own time?
Oh, right, okay.
But we've got 3 decoys that have been speaking.
Right.
And well, the crux of it is he's been teaching what he perceives to be 14-year-old underage girls. He sent pictures of his penis.
Okay, can I have a look?
So,
what's this on? Is this Facebook? Is it?
no, this is.
Again, lying about the fact that he didn't know their real ages. In the conversations, he obviously constantly asked and sent pictures. He had a weird obsession with feet and would constantly try to get them to answer questions about them, particularly about their body, and would try to teach them to do things to themselves. That's all I'm going to say about that. Moving on from the sting, he was obviously arrested. I don't know if he was released on bail for a short time, because shortly after the sting, and I'm not sure what day this took place, but he was found by a few youths, teenagers or some adults, who obviously recognised him because he was obviously quite viral at the time because of the sting, or the clip in particular. Stan said she was 18, and he was kind of spotted at a bus stop somewhere.
You're a dirty.
you leave me alone.
You've been done for being.
Following all this, I'm not sure if Giles pleaded guilty or if he, whatever, but when he was sentenced, he received a 3-year community order, 5 years on a SHPO order, or a sexual harm prevention order, a 5-year on the offenders register, and 3 years on the offenders treatment program. But this wasn't the last we heard of Giles, because after he served his time or was banned from the internet, I believe that on the 31st of August 2023, I discovered he was possibly back on social media 5 whole years after the incident took place during 2018. As we go in, you can see right here one of the posts made where they just uploaded a profile picture and cover photo. You'll be able to see that this picture hasn't been seen before. At least I haven't, looking into this guy before. And it was uploaded on the 25th of June. And if that wasn't enough, it says 25th of June 2023. And even more recently, with the cover photo, the 16th of October at 11:36 on the Monday 2023, 11:36. So he is back on the internet if this is his profile. Please do not take that information as pure fact. I have no clue if that profile was real or not. It is just pure speculation on my half. But moving on to something even more recent. On the 7th of August 2024, in the Bradford area at 6:45 a.m, Giles was arrested for communicating with what he believed to be a 14-year-old, Luckily, it wasn't. It was a Pride hunting team, different from the last one, but known as Protecting Our Kids Online, or POKO. And he was handed into police for safeguarding reasons, and there is no sting, unfortunately, that I can show. But this resulted in what happened most recently, which is him being sentenced. And the conversation he obviously engaged in was over a 6-day period, where he first started communicating with them on a site known as Chat Hour, which he then quickly moved to a site called Kick, and obviously it led to a quite disgusting conversation where he sent images of himself and engaged in the same behaviour as before. And this resulted in the most recent sentencing, which took place between the 15th of January this year to the 18th of January. Due to his previous convictions in 2018, and since he was found with indecent images of people that age, he will now have to register as an offender for the rest of his life and be subject to a lifelong SHPO order, and he was sentenced via video call to a 32-month prison sentence, which is just short of 3 years. And hopefully, this time, he actually learns his lesson. Because it's crazy to me that he wasn't sentenced to jail in the first place. And now that brings us to the end of the documentary on Giles Cockett, the Goblin Nonce, a man who was obscure, unknown, and went to a viral sensation, and in my opinion quite a dangerous sensation. That's all the information I've left to share on this dude. Hopefully I'll never have to cover him again, and hope you guys can appreciate the documentary. I put a lot of effort into this. Obviously I tried to look up any other information. I watched the Sting 3 times just to make sure I didn't miss out on any important information. I wish I could show more of this thing, but obviously there's a lot of explicit things said and swear words and etc. I feel like I showed the most important bits and bits I wanted to show, and if you guys have any suggestions for documentaries or videos or people you want me to cover, please let me know in the comments. I believe we're less than 30 subscribers away from 2,000 subscribers, so hopefully we can hit that, maybe by this video, who knows. But anyway, that's been Joseph the World, and that has been the documentary on Giles Cockett. Make sure to like and subscribe if you can. Share the video, I'd appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. Thank you for watching, and peace.